10 sirens in 3 days. Missiles into Israel, launchers hunted in return. From 470 to under 180, Iran's arsenal is collapsing under Operation Roaring Lion. Deep tunnels, needle strikes, breaking crews, and a widening US-backed net. But if this is pressure rising daily, how close is the breaking point? Iran has been launching missiles at Israel every single day, and Israel has been hunting down every launcher it can find. Since Thursday morning, Israeli residents have run to shelters 10 times, 10 separate alerts as Iran escalates its effort to hit population centers with cluster missiles. This is not a war that is winding down. If anything, the pressure is being turned up. At the center of Israel's response is an operation called Roaring Lion, and at the center of that operation is one specific mission: destroy Iran's surface-to-surface missile array. Defense Minister Israel Katz has made that the highest priority since the operation began, and every single day he receives a detailed briefing from the Intelligence Directorate and the Israeli Air Force on exactly how many launchers have been hit, how many remain, and how fast Iran can recover. Here's what that briefing looks like right now. Iran started this conflict with approximately 470 launchers. As of this week, fewer than 180 of those, just 40%, remain operational. The rest are either destroyed in airstrikes or trapped inside tunnel systems that collapsed under Israeli bombardment. And the Israeli Air Force has found a way to go after even those tunnels. It's called needle threading, a precision strike technique designed specifically to target launchers hidden deep inside underground corridors. Senior IDF officers have acknowledged it's complicated. Iran deliberately built sprawling tunnel networks to make detection harder, but Israel keeps going. What's also emerging from inside those tunnels, and this is significant, is something the Intelligence Directorate has been tracking closely. Signs of refusal among Iran's own launch crews. Regime soldiers are reportedly resisting orders to fire. Iran's coordination is breaking down. And because Israeli strikes have crippled Iran's manufacturing industry, Tehran cannot produce new launchers while the fighting is ongoing. The result? Iran had a plan to fire 100 missiles every single day. It is struggling to execute that plan. But here's what makes this more than a military story. Iran is not just firing missiles because it wants to destroy Israel. It is firing missiles because it is in a negotiation, and the missiles are its leverage. Iran wants a ceasefire. The United States is involved in those talks. And Tehran's calculation is that the more pressure it puts on both Israel and Washington, the better deal it walks away with. Israel is watching all of this and pushing back hard. A senior Israeli security official made clear this week that Israel will not accept any agreement that only addresses Iran's nuclear and missile programs. Any deal, the official said, must also cover terror financing and the tunnel networks that Iran has built specifically to hide its launchers from Israeli airstrikes. And to make sure those launches stay down, the IDF is doing something that rarely gets talked about. It is watching the craters it creates. Satellite and aerial intelligence monitor every strike site to ensure Iran doesn't quietly restore what Israel just destroyed. In the past, Israel has bombed repair crews mid-reconstruction. It is prepared to do so again. The US military is also in this. Israel is receiving American assistance to help close the response time between detecting a launch and getting an aircraft over the target, a challenge made harder by weather conditions and the sheer demand on Israeli air power. A major escalation in the conflict with Iran has placed American forces under renewed pressure after a significant strike on a key US airbase in Saudi Arabia wounded multiple service members and exposed vulnerabilities in regional defenses. At least 12 American personnel were injured in the strike on Prince Sultan Air Base. On March 27th, AP reported citing sources. 2 of those wounded are reported to be in serious condition. The officials told The Telegraph that the assault was a combined missile and drone attack. The strike is being viewed as one of the most serious breaches of US air defenses during the month-long conflict. Saudi Arabia's defense ministry confirmed 6 ballistic missiles were fired toward Riyadh, with only 2 intercepted and 4 not stopped. The officials claimed the remaining missiles fell into waters of the Arabian Gulf and uninhabited land areas, with no reported casualties or significant damage. According to drop site New, however, satellite imagery and open-source analysis indicate a strike on the apron at Prince Sultan Air Base, used by US aircraft, with visible fire damage consistent with a hit on at least one KC-135 refueling tanker. Tensions have further escalated with recent strikes on critical infrastructure in Kuwait. Iranian drones targeted key ports, including Shuwaik Port and Mubarak al-Kabir Port, causing material damage but no reported casualties. The attacks mark a significant shift, striking at vital economic hubs central to regional trade. This comes at a time of mixed messaging from Washington. President Donald Trump has spoken of his desire to be remembered as a great peacemaker, even as military operations in the region continue to intensify. He has also indicated that peace talks are underway, although Iranian officials have disputed those claims. Meanwhile, the United States has deployed additional warships and thousands of troops to reinforce its presence. Iran has carried out repeated strikes on US bases across the Middle East, using a combination of ballistic missiles and drones. The campaign is aimed at disrupting American operations and responding to ongoing US and Israeli attacks. As a result, US Central Command has dispersed forces across the region, relocating some personnel as far as Europe to reduce exposure. Although many incoming threats have been intercepted, officials acknowledge that systems are being stretched. Iranian drones, including low-cost models, have proven particularly challenging. These weapons are relatively cheap and expendable, while the systems used to intercept them are far more complex and costly. There have already been casualties. 6 US Army reservists were killed early in the conflict in a drone strike on a tactical operations center in Kuwait. Another service member died following an earlier attack on Prince Sultan Air Base. In total, nearly 300 American troops have been injured since the start of hostilities, with around 225 suffering traumatic brain injuries caused by missile blasts.